You see, my beloved audience, feeling worthless is perhaps the greatest deception we can fall prey to. It is a veil that shrouds the magnificent truth of who you really are. For in reality, you are not just worthy, you are worth itself. You are the very essence of value, the embodiment of divine perfection. How can that which is one with God ever be worthless? Now, I know that for many of you, these words may seem far-fetched, perhaps even impossible to believe in the depths of your despair. You might be thinking, Neville, you don't understand. My life is a mess. I've failed at everything I've tried. How can I possibly have any worth? And to this I say, your worth is not determined by your achievements or failures in the world of Caesar. Your worth is inherent, unchanging and eternal, because it stems from your true identity as God individualized. Let us delve deeper into this truth. When you feel worthless, what you are really experiencing is a disconnect from your divine self. You have momentarily forgotten who you truly are. You have identified with the outer circumstances of your life with the limited ego self, rather than with the infinite I am that is your true nature. But how to bridge this disconnect? How do we remember our true worth when the world seems to be screaming our inadequacies? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the power of your imagination and the practice of assumption. For as I have always taught, your imagination is God in action within you, and what you assume, you become. The first step in overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to become aware of your inner conversation. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Are you constantly berating yourself? Are you replaying past failures and projecting them into your future? This inner dialogue is crucial because it forms the foundation of your self-concept. Once you become aware of this inner conversation, you must make a conscious decision to change it. This, my friends, is where the real work begins. You must persistently and consistently imagine yourself as the person you want to be, as someone of immense worth and value. You must assume the feeling of being worthy, of being loved, of being successful. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just self-deception? Isn't it delusional to imagine myself as worthy when I don't feel that way? And to this, I say what you call self-deception is actually called, you are not creating something that doesn't exist. You are unveiling the truth that has always been there, hidden beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and false identity. Remember, my dear listeners, that your imagination is not a fantasy-making faculty. It is the very essence of reality. The world you see around you, your entire life experience, is pushed out from within. It is the outpicturing of your inner assumptions and beliefs. Therefore, when you imagine yourself as worthy, you are not lying to yourself. You are aligning yourself with the truth of your being. So how do we put this into practice? How do we use our imagination to overcome feelings of worthlessness? The key lies in what I call living from the end. You must imagine a scene that implies you are already the person of worth and value that you desire to be. Feel the joy, the confidence, the peace that comes with knowing your true worth. Make this scene as vivid and as real as possible in your imagination. For instance, you might imagine yourself receiving accolades for your work, being embraced lovingly by friends and family, or simply looking in the mirror and seeing a person of immense value looking back at you. The specific scene doesn't matter as much as the feeling it evokes. You must feel the reality of being worthy, feel it so intensely that it becomes more real to you than your current circumstances. Now, this is not a one-time exercise. You must return to this imaginal scene night after night, day after day. You must persist in the assumption of your worth until it becomes your dominant feeling, your new self-concept. As you do this, you will begin to notice changes in your outer world. People will begin to treat you differently. Opportunities will arise that align with your new self-concept. For remember, the outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. But what about when doubts creep in? What about when the old feelings of worthlessness resurface? This, my friends, is where faith comes into play. You must have faith in the law, faith in the power of your imagination to create reality. When doubts arise, do not fight them. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return your attention to the truth of your being. Say to yourself, I remember when I used to feel worthless, but now I know my true value in doing so. You are placing the feeling of worthlessness in the past, where it belongs, and affirming your current state of worthiness. This simple practice can work wonders in moments of doubt. Now let us address another crucial aspect of overcoming feelings of worthlessness, the concept of self-love. Many of you may find it difficult to love yourselves, especially when you're feeling low. But I tell you now, self-love is not an indulgence or a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the foundation upon which all other forms of love are built. You see, my dear friends, you cannot give what you do not have. If you do not love yourself, how can you truly love others? If you do not value yourself, how can you offer value to the world? Self-love is not selfishness. It is the recognition of your divine nature, the acknowledgement of the God within you. So how do we cultivate this self-love? Again, it comes back to the power of imagination and assumption. You must imagine yourself as someone worthy of love, as someone who is loved unconditionally. Feel the warmth of this love, the acceptance, the total approval. Assume the feeling of being loved, not just by others, but by yourself. One powerful technique for cultivating self-love is to imagine God or the universe speaking words of love and affirmation to you. Hear these words in your mind. You are my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. You are perfect, whole, and complete. I love you unconditionally and eternally. Feel the truth of these words. Let them sink deep into your being. As you practice this, you may find that tears come to your eyes. Let them flow. These tears are not of sadness, but of recognition, the soul recognizing its true divine nature. Allow yourself to be moved by this love, to be transformed by it. Remember, my friends, that this feeling of worthlessness you've been experiencing is not your natural state. It is learned behavior, a false belief that you have accepted as truth. But just as you learn to feel worthless, you can learn to feel worthy. It is a choice, a decision you make moment by moment. Every time you catch yourself engaging in self-deprecating thoughts or behaviors, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself of your true identity. Say to yourself, I am worthy. I am loved. I am divine. Feel the truth of these statements. Let them become your new reality. Now, some of you might be wondering, Neville, what about my past mistakes? Don't they prove that I'm worthless? And to this, I say your past does not define you unless you allow it to. Your mistakes, your failures, your perceived shortcomings, these are all part of the journey of self-discovery. They are opportunities for growth, for learning, for expanding your consciousness. In fact, I would go so far as to say that these experiences that you perceive as failures are actually essential to your spiritual evolution. For how can you truly know your divine nature if you never experience contrast? How can you appreciate your worth if you never doubt it? These challenges are not punishments, but invitations to remember who you truly are. So instead of berating yourself for past mistakes, bless them. Thank them for the lessons they've taught you, for the strength they've given you, for the wisdom they've imparted. And then let them go. Release them into the past where they belong. For you are not that person anymore. You are new in every moment, reborn with every breath. Another powerful practice for overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to focus on gratitude. When you're feeling low, it can be easy to overlook the blessings in your life. But I assure you, my dear friends, that no matter how dire circumstances may seem, there is always something to be grateful for. Start small if you need to. Be grateful for the air you breathe, for the beat of your heart, for the fact that you are alive and able to experience this moment. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you will find that more and more things to be thankful for will reveal themselves to you. You see, gratitude is not just a nice sentiment, it is a powerful creative force. When you are grateful, you are aligning yourself with the abundance of the universe. You are declaring to the world, I have much to be thankful for. And the universe responds by giving you more to be thankful for. Moreover, gratitude and worthlessness cannot coexist. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging your worth, recognizing that you are deserving of good things. So whenever you feel that sense of worthlessness creeping in, switch your focus to gratitude. Make a list of everything you're thankful for, no matter how small. Feel the warmth of appreciation filling your heart. This simple practice can shift your entire state of being. Now let us address another important aspect of overcoming feelings of worthlessness, the company you keep. You see, my dear friends, we are greatly influenced by those around us. If you constantly surround yourself with people who belittle you, who don't appreciate your worth, who reinforce your negative self-image. It will be much harder to maintain a sense of your true value. This doesn't mean you need to cut people out of your life, but it does mean you need to be mindful of the energy you're exposing yourself to. Seek out those who uplift you, who see your potential, who reflect back to you your divine nature. And if you can't find such people in your immediate environment, turn to books, to lectures, to teachings that remind you of your worth. Remember, you have the power to choose your influences. You have the power to curate your mental diet. Just as you wouldn't constantly feed your body junk food and expect to be healthy, you can't constantly feed your mind negative influences and expect to feel worthy. Another powerful technique for overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to focus on serving others. Now, this might seem counterintuitive. You might be thinking, Neville, how can I serve others when I feel so worthless myself? But I tell you, service is one of the quickest ways to remember your inherent value. When you serve others, when you contribute to the world in some way, no matter how small, you are expressing your divine nature. You are allowing the God within you to shine forth. And in doing so, you cannot help but recognize your worth. This service doesn't have to be grand or heroic. It can be as simple as offering a kind word to someone who's struggling, helping a neighbor with a task, or volunteering for a post. The key is to shift your focus from your own perceived inadequacies to the needs of others. As you do this, you'll begin to see that you have much to offer. You'll realize that your presence in the world makes a difference. And this realization, my friends, is the antidote to feelings of worthlessness. Now let us delve deeper into the concept of identity. When you feel worthless, you have identified with a false self, a limited ego self that is subject to the opinions and judgments of others. But your true identity, your real self, is far beyond this. Your true self is the I am, the divine awareness that is one with God. To overcome feelings of worthlessness, you must shift your identification from the limited ego self to this higher self. This is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, a constant remembering of who you truly are. One way to facilitate this shift is through meditation or contemplation. Take time each day to sit in silence, to turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, who am I? Don't try to answer with your mind. Simply sit with the question. Let it penetrate deep into your being. As you do this, you may begin to experience moments of profound peace, moments where your usual sense of self falls away, and you touch something vast and limitless. This, my friends, is your true self. This is the I am that is your eternal identity. The more you connect with this true self, the more you will naturally let go of feelings of worthlessness. For how can that which is one with God, that which is the source of all creation, ever be worthless? Another powerful practice for overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to focus on your inherent qualities rather than your acquired ones. You see, in our society, we tend to place great value on things like achievements, possessions, and social status. But these are all external, acquired things. They can be lost or taken away. Your true worth lies in your inherent qualities, your capacity for love, your creativity, your consciousness, your very being. These cannot be taken from you. They are not dependent on external circumstances. They are the essence of who you are. So instead of focusing on what you have or haven't achieved, focus on these inherent qualities. Recognize the miracle of your existence. Marvel at the fact that you are aware, that you can think, feel, and experience. This alone makes you infinitely valuable. Now, my dear friends, I want to address something that many of you may be struggling with, the habit of comparing yourself to others. This comparison is a major source of feelings of worthlessness. You look at others who seem more successful, more attractive, more talented, and you think, I'm not as good as them. I am worthless in comparison. But I tell you now, all comparison is illusion. Each of you is on your own unique journey. Each of you has your own unique purpose. You cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You cannot compare your inside to someone else's outside. Moreover, when you compare yourself to others, you are denying your own uniqueness. You are saying, I should be like them, instead of recognizing the divine spark within you that makes you unlike anyone else who has ever lived or will ever live. So whenever you find yourself falling into the trap of comparison, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself of your uniqueness. Say to yourself, I am incomparable. I am unique. I am on my own divine path. Feel the truth of these statements. Let them sink deep into your being. Another crucial aspect of overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to recognize that your worth is not dependent on your productivity or usefulness to others. In our society, we often equate worth with productivity. We think we're only valuable if we're constantly doing, achieving, producing. But I tell you now, my dear friends, your worth is not in your doing. You are valuable simply because you exist. You are a unique expression of the divine, a miracle of consciousness. This alone makes you infinitely precious. So give yourself permission to simply be. Take time each day to do nothing, to simply exist. As you do this, you may find a deep sense of peace washing over you. You may begin to feel your intrinsic worth, independent of any external validation or achievement. Now let us address the role of forgiveness in overcoming feelings of worthlessness. Many of you may be carrying guilt or shame from past actions. You may believe that because of something you've done. You are unworthy of love or success. But I tell you now, forgiveness is essential for recognizing your true worth. And the forgiveness I speak of is not just forgiveness of others, but forgiveness of yourself. You must learn to release the guilt and shame that keep you tethered to a false sense of unworthiness. Remember, my friends, that you are not your actions. You are not your mistakes. You are the awareness that experiences these things, but remains untouched by them. Your essence is pure, divine, and worthy of love, regardless of what you may have done in the past. So practice self-forgiveness. Whenever those feelings of guilt or shame arise, say to yourself, I forgive myself completely. I release the past. I am worthy of love and success. Feel the lightness that comes with this forgiveness. Feel the freedom it brings. Another powerful practice for overcoming feelings of worthlessness is to focus on your dreams and aspirations. You see, when you feel worthless, you often lose sight of your dreams. You may think, who am I to want these things? I'm not worthy of them. But I tell you now, your dreams are not random. They are divine inspiration, whispers from your higher self about the life you're meant to live. By pursuing your dreams, by working towards your aspirations, you are aligning yourself with your divine purpose. So take time to reconnect with your dreams. What is it that you truly desire? What kind of life do you want to create? Allow yourself to imagine this life in vivid detail. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, the sense of purpose that comes with living this life. As you do this, you may find your sense of worth naturally increasing. For in connecting with your dreams, you are connecting with your divine nature, with the infinite potential within you. Now, my dear friends, as we near the end of our exploration, I want to emphasize a crucial point. Overcoming feelings of worthlessness is not a destination, but a journey. It is not something you achieve once and for all, but a continuous process of remembering your true nature. There may be days when you slip back into old patterns of thinking. There may be moments when that familiar feeling of worthlessness creeps in. When this happens, do not break yourself. Do not see it as a failure. Instead, see it as an opportunity to practice everything we've discussed. In those moments, gently remind yourself of your true identity. Return to your imaginal scenes of worth and value. Focus on gratitude. Serve others. Connect with your higher self. Forgive yourself. Reconnect with your dreams. These are not just techniques, but ways of being that with practice will become second nature to you. Remember, my beloved audience, that you are on a grand adventure of self-discovery. Each challenge, each moment of doubt is an invitation to remember who you truly are. Embrace these moments. Use them as opportunities to affirm your worth, to declare your divine nature. For in truth, you are not becoming worthy. You are remembering your worth. You are not creating value. You are unveiling the infinite value that has always been within you. You are God individualized, infinite consciousness in human form. How can such a being ever be worthless? So go forth from here with this knowledge. Let it permeate every aspect of your being. Let it inform every thought, every word, every action. Know that you are worthy not because of what you do or what you have, but because of who you are. And as you embrace this truth, as you live from this place of inherent worth and value, you will find your entire world transforming. For remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. As you change your concept of self, as you align with your true divine nature, Your outer circumstances must change to match this new inner reality. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are divine. This is the truth of your being. Embrace it. Live it. And watch as miracles unfold in your life. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention and your willingness to witness this profound truth. May you always remember your infinite worth and value. May you always know that you are loved, cherished, and infinitely precious. For you are God's own dear self made manifest in human form. And in that truth lies your eternal, unchanging worth.